Rohan is playing in the garden. Suddenly it starts to rain. Rohan ran back home. But now he is curious to know what makes it rain. Hey Rohan, if you want to know how it rains, you need to learn about the water cycle. Let's start then. When the sun shines bright, the heat from the sun warms up the water in the water bodies like lakes, ponds, rivers, seas, oceans, and also the water beneath the ground. When the water warms up, it changes into a gas called water vapor. This change of water into a gaseous form is called evaporation. Evaporation. Since the gas is lighter than liquid, the water vapor rises up in the atmosphere. In the sky, the water vapor cools down and changes back into water droplets and make clusters of tiny water droplets which ultimately forms the cloud. This change of water vapor to water droplets is called condensation. Condensation. When these clouds become heavy with water droplets and can no more accumulate more water, it comes back to the land in the form of rain. This process is called precipitation. Precipitation. And finally, the water falling down in the form of rain is collected by various water bodies, and this process is called collection. Collection. This entire process happens over and over again, and hence it is known as the water cycle. Few examples of evaporation in daily life. Keep a glass of water under the hot sun for a few hours. You will see that the level of water is decreasing considerably, and slowly and gradually, all the water from the glass turns into gaseous form or water vapor, and the glass is left empty. This is an example of evaporation. Similarly, drying of wet clothes under the hot sun is also an example of evaporation. Also, when you're sweating profusely during summertime and after standing in front of a fan, the sweat evaporates and you start feeling cool is another example of evaporation. Drying of wet hair and cooling down of a hot cup of tea are both examples of evaporation. Some examples of condensation. A common example of condensation is the formation of dew. Let's find out how it's formed. Have you ever noticed thousands and thousands of glittery water droplets on your cars, plants, leaves, windows, grasses, etc. on a cold morning? Those droplets are nothing but dew. So, what is dew? Dew is the water present in the air. As the sun sets, the air and the surfaces start to lose the heat they have gained through the rays of the sun during the daytime. When the air cools, it cannot hold as much water vapor as warmer air. And as the temperature drops, condensation takes place and water droplets form. These water droplets are dew. Another common example of condensation is the formation of fog. Foggy glasses during the winter is the result of condensation, the simple chemical process that occurs when water vapor cools down enough to turn from a gas back into its liquid state. While wearing a mask and glasses, you may notice fog on your glasses irrespective of the season. This is because the warm breath escapes from the top of your mask and tiny droplets are released. These droplets get trapped behind your glasses, which causes fogging. Similarly, the water droplets on the outside of your cold drink can or glass is an example of condensation. Precipitation occurs in different forms depending on the temperature within the cloud and the Earth's surface. They may fall as drizzle, hailstorm, rainfall, or snowfall. The water falling back on the Earth's surface in the form of rain, hail, or snow is collected by various water bodies like oceans, seas, rivers, ponds, lakes, and also absorbed by the ground as underground water. So now you know a lot about the water cycle, Rohan, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. We will learn about how to conserve and save this limited natural resource known as water in some other class. Till then, keep learning and have lots of fun. See you next time. Bye.
Subscribe.